Family home entertainment. From our family to yours, there's something special for everyone. At www.familyhomeent.com.
Hi there.
All right, let's get clicking.
Shall we proceed?
Got deadlines to meet.
Busy, busy. Got a trot.
Hi, my name's CD.
And I'm Rami. Welcome to the Big Job Clubhouse and our Big Wheel Roundup home video.
Say, hun, you look like you could use some big job challenge. Am I right or what?
I'm your Touron, your big job worksite tour guide, to be more properly exact.
Today, we're going to see all about fire vehicles, construction, and farm equipment.
So here's a Big Job music video to get you going.
Big job. Big job, kids. Well, every morning now, here we go to the Big Job Clubhouse. Here we go. We take the Big Job Challenge. Here we go. Cause we're the Big Job kids.
Hey!
Stepping on the gas on the Big Job worksite. Here we go. We do the Big Job right. Here we go. We take the Big Job Challenge. Here we go. Cause we're the Big Job kids.
Hey!
Stepping on the gas. Step on the gas. Climb to the driver's seat. Step on the gas. Got a deadline to meet. Come step on the gas. Feel the beat. Take the Big Job Challenge. Cause we're the Big Job kids. A big job. Step on the gas. Work to be done. Step on the gas. Job has just begun. Come on, step on the gas. Let's have some fun. Take the Big Job Challenge. Cause we're the Big Job kids. Big job challenge. Big job kids. Work.
Hey!
Take the Big Job Challenge. Be a Big Job kid. Work.
Hey!
We take the Big Job Challenge. We're the Big Job kids. Work.
Hey!
Take the Big Job Challenge. Cause I'm a Big Job kid. Go.
Hey!
Work.
Hey!
We take the Big Job Challenge. Cause we're the Big Job kids. Ow! A big job. A Big Job kids. A big job. A big job kids.
Hey!
My name is Winston. I run this here Big Job junkyard. You know, construction sites are some of the most exciting places in the whole world. Come on, let's take a look. Now get ready for the biggest, the tallest, the heaviest, earth-munchingest, road-crushingest monster machines in the whole world. No big job is too big for these metal-pounding, dirt-mounding giants, building skyscrapers in a single bound, flattening the earth with a scraping sound, even moving mountains. It's big, bad machines like these that make construction sites some of the most exciting places in the world. Day in, day out, it takes teamwork and cooperation to get a big job done on schedule. So, let's get to work. Just look around. There's teamwork everywhere. Pushing, digging, scooping, hauling, scraping. One leads, the other follows. One knocks down, another picks up. Now that's big job teamwork. So, what do you say? You want to find out how these babies work? Okay, but you'll have to dig a little deeper. And maybe grow a little bigger. Because it's a whole load of experience to dump on anyone. But that's what it takes to meet the Big Job Challenge. Look out! Here comes the bulldozer, and nothing is going to stand in its way. Not for very long, anyway. Bulldozers are made for power with a capital POW. That gigantic steel blade is curved to help push dirt, rocks, tree stumps, and just about anything else in its way. Bulldozers run on crawler tracks for extra traction. They help keep it from sinking in the gunk. Of course, some guys like getting in the gunk. This one does. It's called a backhoe. See, it's got a powerful dipper arm that pulls back earth just like a garden hoe. Only it's easier on the back. Some excavators are big enough to hold a whole classroom full of kids, including the teacher and the principal. To make the scooping easier, it's got big metal teeth. It scoops, it swivels, it dumps. Just look at it go. Now stand back and watch some real big job action. You can bet it takes a long time to knock down a whole building. I sure hope they got the right address. Now, let's really step on the gas with this little excavator. Hey, now that's more like it. Cranes are used for all sorts of big jobs. Heavy trucks bring equipment and supplies to the mobile crane worksite. The workers attach the heavy stuff to the crane, which hoists loads to workers way up to the top of buildings. Hey, you can carry more than that. Bring that back here. Thank you. Next time, get a big job size load. Here's another part of the team. It's a front loader. The front loader is perfect for loading dump trucks with heavy payloads. Dump trucks are the real muscle at most big job sites. It doesn't take a lot of brain power to be a dump truck. Get loaded up, drive the load, dump the load. Yeah, but that load takes a lot of muscle power. Many dump trucks can hold more than 50 tons of dirt and rock. Now that's a big job. Some larger dump trucks are articulated. That's a fancy word for a hinge. And a hinge is what makes them more maneuverable. It bends in the middle on a joint where the cab, the place where the driver sits, meets the dump bed. Pretty tricky, huh? This mighty mite is a skid loader, and it's really a big part of any big job team. It can get into spaces that the big guys can't. You're important to the team, little buddy. Just try and put on a little weight, will you? For road work, the scraper is used to level out the terrain. The big blade just slices off the dirt, sends it into a giant metal box where it can be dumped out of the way. After the scraper does its job, along comes the compactor. It packs down the earth to make it smoother. trucks haul stuff away. They also haul stuff in. This one is bringing in gravel for the road's bottom layer. Next comes the grader. Its long steel blade pushes the gravel and makes it level. We'll be driving on this road in no time. And these are just a few of the awesome machines that work around a big job construction site. There are plenty more, too. Like the concrete mixer. It mixes concrete while it hauls it, so to be ready to pour when needed. Each big job machine is terrific, but they can't perform alone. As a team, they must work together to get the big job done on time. But there is one more power ingredient to add, and that's people power. That's the most important part of all. Think of the pushing, the digging, the dumping, the flattening. Just thinking about it tires you out. That's a big job, but somebody's got to do it. Maybe that someone is you. And when you're ready, you can bet there'll be a big job challenge ready and waiting for you.
Got a mountain of dirt, gonna push it down. Big job, big trucks. Gotta build a new road through the middle of town. Big job, big trucks. Smacking and socking, now you're really rocking. Lifting and loading, now you're really rolling. Scraping and chewing, now you're really doing big jobs. Big trucks. Got a monster crane with a wrecking ball. Big job, big trucks. Gonna smash that building and watch it fall. Big job, big trucks. Spreading and rolling, now you're really going. Dozing, removing, now you're really moving. Pouring and filling, now you're really moving. Big jobs, big trucks. Big jobs, big trucks. And all the rocks and all the stones we'll use again to make the side of the road a big job. Boulders will be crushed. See the big trucks shake up the dust. Heaving and hauling, now you're really blowing. Digging and dumping, now you're really pumping. Pounding and punching, now you're really crunching. Working and building, now you're really doing big jobs. Big trucks. Big jobs. Big trucks. Big jobs. Big trucks. You're really doing big jobs. Big trucks. Big jobs.
Hi, Winston again, and I'm going to show you all about the big job of fire and rescue teams. Ready? Let's go. Welcome to the fire station, where things are quiet. Maybe a little too quiet. The firefighters are relaxing. All their firefighting equipment is at rest. And it's a good thing they relax when they can, because when their alarm clock goes off, they've got to get moving. That fire alarm means better get ready for the hottest, most dangerous big job challenge around. Firefighting and rescue. Here's a big job that needs doing in a hurry. There are hot flames to fight and people to be rescued. You gotta be brave to fight fires, and you need training, too. You also need plenty of big job equipment, some for speed, some for sheer power, and some to cut down the chances of danger. The aerial truck gets the firefighters airborne for fires in tall buildings and rescuing people who might be trapped inside. These trucks are heavy duty, all with different tools the firefighters need to meet a big job challenge. The headquarters on wheels helps the hotshots stay organized and together and in constant communication. Firefighters have to work together to get the big job done right. And I'm talking right now. If you can stand the heat, maybe one day you'll be on the fire and rescue team. The fire station is a home away from home because firefighters usually live here 1 or 2 days at a time. They eat here and sleep here. The reason is, when a fire alarm sounds, every extra second they take getting to the fire gives the flames more time to burn. The men have a lot of stuff they gotta take with them. Boots, gloves, pants, coat, hood, hat, air tank, mask, flashlight, pick, head axe, all kinds of stuff. These guys are fast. Most firefighters can get dressed, equipped, and out the door in 30 to 45 seconds flat. That stuff weighs more than 60 pounds. But the fire folks need it all for protection on the big job. Of course, firefighters don't carry all their equipment. They ride on some of it. This aerial truck, for instance. Aerial means off the ground and into the air. And that's just where these giants lift a crew. The aerial ladder truck can reach 135 feet in the air, which is as high as a 10-story building. You know why they call this an aerial platform truck? That's right, because instead of a ladder, it's got a platform. That long arm is called a boom. This one has an articulated arm. Well, that's fancy talk, meaning it bends. Kind of like an elbow. Here's a favorite. It's got a ladder and a platform, and it's called an aerial platform truck. It's even equipped with nozzles, floodlights, firefighting tools, and a heat shield that protects the fire guys from that hot stuff. You can control this baby from the platform or from the ground. And it also carries all kinds of extra equipment like ladders and other stuff. The pumper truck is rigged to hook up to a fire hydrant. If there is no city water supply, the pumper can pump from other places like a river or a lake. A powerful built-in water pump throws thousands of gallons of water in minutes. Well, what happens if a fire happens and there's no water around? You call a tanker truck. They can carry 5,000 gallons of water on board. They make home deliveries to the fire and dump it into a dump tank. A snozzle has a big water nozzle on the end of the arm instead of a platform. It's another way to deliver water to fires. Water is necessary because a fire needs oxygen to burn. Water smothers the fire and won't let the oxygen in. But there are some fires that water can't put out. Those happen when gas or oil or certain chemicals catch fire. So the firefighters use an aqueous film-forming foam truck. It sprays a special foam on these fires, just like a giant fire extinguisher. When fires get really big and out of control, They may need a bunch of firefighters from different fire stations to help put it out. These groups are called companies. And when the big job gets bigger, they bring in the mobile HQ. Headquarters unit is the control center for the fire chief. He's like the quarterback of the fire. He gives the orders and calls the signals. The chief's HQ is full of radio equipment so he can stay in touch with the rest of the big job team. Here we go. The rescue vehicle is practically a mobile hospital to help people who get hurt. Special rescue equipment can help accident victims. Rescue paramedics are highly trained and know how to treat people in emergencies. Well, think you might be cut out for the job? Remember, it's dangerous. Sometimes you might get hurt. You gotta be brave. Could you do this? Or this? Any interest in doing this? Could you be a rescuer? Or a paramedic? Or a driver? These people are special. But then so are you. Firefighting is one of the most important big job challenges around. And just maybe, when that alarm bell rings a few years from now, some of these guys may be on your crew.
You gotta be ready on the fire crew, 'cause when the fire bell rings, you've got a job to do. Get dressed, get aboard, and go, go, go. There's a big job burning, and you can't be slow. When you see the smoke, then you know there's a fire. Get your aerial truck and push the ladder higher. The bumper's hooked up, let the water flow. Spray it on the fire so it doesn't grow. You listen to the chief who's giving out the orders. From the radio in the mobile headquarters. Ooh-ee-oo, there's a building on fire. Ooh-ee-oo, big help is required. Ooh-ee-oo, it's burning and smoking. Put the pedal to the metal and hit the fire siren. There's an ambulance here, it's got a big job too, helping injured people and the fire crew. Right now the paramedics are standing by. If someone gets hurt, you know they'll really fly. Then listen to the chief who's giving out the orders. From the radio in the mobile headquarters. Ooh-ee-oo, there's a building on fire. Ooh-ee-oo, big help is required. Ooh-ee-oo, it's burning and smoking. Put the pedal to the metal and hit the fire siren. Ooh-ee-oo, there's a building on fire. Ooh-ee-oo, big help is required. Ooh-ee-oo, it's burning and smoking. Put the pedal to the metal and hit the fire siren.
You know, I grew up on a farm. And I'll tell you, farming's one big job that takes a whole year long. Let me show you what I mean. Hey there, here's a question. How long should a big job take to complete? Yeah, that's a good one, huh? Because there's no real answer. Some big jobs take an hour. Some might take all day, or even weeks, or a month to finish. But farming is one big job that takes a whole year long. Farmers are up with the sun and on the job tending crops, caring for their stock, and using a whole army of hard-working big farm machines. In spring, tractors do field work, planting and fertilizing. In summer, they water and weed, making sure the crop is healthy. Then in the fall, they combine fields and bring their crops to market. In winter, farmers make sure their animals stay warm and healthy and begin to plan for the next spring growing season. Nothing to it, right? Farmers need a bit of luck along with all their hard work. They have to hope the weather won't be too hot or too wet for the crops to grow. Yeah, crops are very bad swimmers. To be successful these days, you've also got to apply scientific know-how. Sure, seeds need air and water and a good soil bed. But farmers don't just throw the seeds on the ground. They use big spreaders to ensure good growth. Farmers watch crops carefully and know exactly when to harvest them, sometimes working their machines long after dark. From giant tractors to huge grain haulers, farm machines work hard. They even use them to feed their stock, making sure they get the proper nutrition so they'll grow big and strong and healthy. Speaking of big job machines, is that a monster or is that a monster? If you've been looking for big tires, sharp teeth, heavy loads, the farm equipment should be right up there at the top of your big job list. So don't chicken out. Now, let's get moving. First things first, the tractor is the farmer's most important piece of machinery. The workhorse of the team, the clutch hitter, the go-to guy. When you need 4 yards for a first down, the tractor will get you 4 yards and more. Just look, it tills the fields. It's used in planting, fertilizing, hauling, and all kinds of stuff. Farmers used to use real horsepower. Today, they rely on the horsepower from tractors for the big, tough jobs. Big four-wheel drive monsters have front and rear wheels that work together, giving the same power as 400 horses. Awesome. Farmers need power, but comfort too. You can get air conditioners, heaters, radios, CDs, even telephones. But it's the back end of the tractor that's the business end. You can hook up all kinds of stuff to it. For tilling a field in the spring, these sharp discs called coulters slice through all kinds of junk to break up the hard ground. Why? Because all plants need plenty of air and water to grow. They grow best in soft ground, so the farmer uses a cultivator. Sometimes they call them harrows to break up the soil. And once the field is tilled, it's ready for planting. This disc harrow is bigger than a school bus, and it has to be folded up before it can drive on a road. Coming down. Of course, seeds need more than air and water to grow. They need proper nutrients, too. If the soil doesn't have those nutrients, farmers add fertilizers and minerals. Sometimes they spray crops to keep the weeds and bugs off of them, too. Okay, now the field is ready for planting. This can get tricky. Watch. The planter does 3 big jobs, and it does them fast. One set of discs opens a groove in the ground. They call it a furrow. Then a seed drops from this grain tube, and another pair of discs closes the furrow to cover the seed. Now that's a clever big job machine. Guys used to do this by hand, but with this planter, look, you can do 8 or 12 or 16, even 24 rows at the same time. It's a big job planting seeds in carefully spaced, straight, even rows. Look at this monster. It's called a combine. Harvesting is one of the biggest farm big jobs out there. This combine is harvesting soybeans. Sharp blades up front are mounted on a header. They chop down the plants. Inside the combine, the grain is threshed or taken out of the plant. Stalks and other junk are thrown away, and the grain is put in a holding tank ready for the grain truck. Corn pickers are the same, only different. Unlike the combine, it doesn't take the kernels off the cob. It picks the whole thing. After harvest, farmers measure their crop. A measurement they use is a quantity called a bushel. A bushel is equal to 4 pecks. You don't know what a peck is? Well, that's 8 quarts. Still no good, huh? A quart is about 2 pints. Oh, never mind. Just know this truck can hold hundreds of bushels of grain in a single haul. And then it's off to the grain scales for weighing. Hey, you, get off that scale. You're not filled up yet. We're talking big jobs here. A grain auger works like an escalator. Its spinning metal rod has a deep groove and pulls the grain up into the grain bin. That's where they store it to let it dry. Going up. Farmers who raise animals usually grow hay to feed them, and making hay is a big job. First, a mower cuts down the hay. Then a baler comes through and spins the hay into tight piles called bales. Bales are easier to carry and store than loose hay. On lots of farms, the bales are stored in barns until ready for feeding the cows. And that's a pretty big job, too. What do you do when you have to take a cow for a ride? They're a little too big to fit in your minivan, so farmers use another piece of big job equipment, a cattle carrier. Some can hold a dozen cows, or even more. Farming is not only a big job, it's a whole way of life. Running a successful farm takes dads and moms and kids, too. They even use dogs to keep the other animals shaped up. Yeah, I taught this dog everything he knows. He answers to the name of, hey, stupid. Farms even need cats, I hate to admit it, to chase away the mice. And farming takes a lot of big job machines to get down and dirty, to slice and cut and clean and carry. Farming is plenty of work, but well worth it, because that's where the food you and I eat comes from. Grains for our bread, fruits, veggies, meat, cheese, milk, all that comes from the farm. Well, let's face it, farming is a big, big job. Hey, thanks, Mr. Farmer, for a big job well done.
With the sun and out in the fields, raising up the crop for the highest yield, plowing and a planting and a baling up a storm. It's a great big job when you're working on the farm. Got a tractor out here and it's working all day, a pulling and a pushing and a towing things away. Then it's in from the field and back to the barn. It's a great big job when you're working on the farm. When you gotta be big and you gotta be quick and you gotta watch out that the plow doesn't stick, and you gotta be tough and you gotta be strong, 'cause this is one big job that lasts a whole year long. In the spring we plow, in the summer we grow, in the autumn we harvest it row by row. In the winter we've got to keep the animals warm. It's a great big job when you're working on the farm. When you gotta be big and you gotta be quick and you gotta watch out that the plow doesn't stick, and you gotta be tough and you gotta be strong, 'cause this is one big job that lasts a whole year long. Well, we're up with the sun and out in the fields, raising up the crop for the highest yield, a plowing and a planting and a baling up a storm. It's a great big job when you're working on the farm.
Hi there. My name's Chip. That stands for Computer Hyper-Indexed Power Portal. But Chip's fine with me. So, are you ready for the Big Job, Big Wheel Roundup roll call? See which ones are your favorites. Ta-ta! The mobile crane. It's made for big lifting jobs. The big hook is attached to a heavy load, which the crane lifts up to the job. Mobile crane. The bulldozer. It pushes rocks and dirt with a giant blade to clear the way for building. It runs on crawler tracks that help it climb, go over the roughest terrain, and keep from sinking in the mud. Bulldozer. The dump truck. It's built for carrying big loads. It hauls dirt and trash away from construction sites and brings gravel for road building. Dump truck. The excavator. It's used for digging and scooping dirt and debris. That bucket scoops the load and carries it away. Some excavators have claws to snatch and carry away the load. Excavator. The flatbed truck. It hauls equipment and construction materials. This flatbed truck brings machinery, steel, concrete blocks, and other big supplies to the big job work site. Flatbed truck. The grader. Roads and parking lots begin with a layer of gravel. A grader with a huge steel blade pushes the stones into a flat, smooth layer. Grader. The front-end loader. It has a huge bucket on the front. It scoops dirt, lifts it into the air, and dumps it into a dump truck. Front-end loader. The scraper. It does just that. Scrapes away the bumpy top layer of ground and makes it smooth. Dirt is sliced off and stored in a huge box, then dumped out of the way. Scraper. The skid loader. It may be small, but that doesn't stop it from doing a big job. It's great for maneuvering into small spaces and getting out of the way. Skid loader. The wrecking ball. When an old building has to go, the wrecking ball swings into action. It smashes down the building so other big machines can clear it away. Wrecking ball. The aerial ladder platform truck. It has a long ladder with a platform on the end. It combines a platform work area with a ladder to climb up and down. Aerial ladder platform truck. The mobile command vehicle. It's used at large fires. It helps the officers in charge communicate with and supervise all the firefighters on the job. Mobile command vehicle. Personal equipment. Firefighters have lots of personal equipment. Boots, gloves, coat, hat, air tank and mask, axe, radio, and more. All of this can weigh 60 pounds or more. Personal equipment. The pumper truck. It helps firefighters get water to fight the fire. It's used for pumping water from a fire hydrant or a nearby lake or river. Pumper truck. The rescue vehicle. It's like an emergency room on wheels. It carries paramedics and medical supplies to treat injured people at a fire scene and rush them to the hospital. Rescue vehicle. The snorkel truck. It can raise a working platform high into the air. The platform is on an articulated boom, which means that the sections are connected by a big joint like an elbow. Snorkel truck. The snozzle truck. It's used to shoot a stream of water at the fire. It can pump about 1,000 gallons of water a minute. Snozzle truck. The fire station. When they're not out fighting fires, you'll find firefighters and all their big job equipment at the fire station. When the alarm sounds, they swing into action. Fire station. The water tanker. It can carry thousands of gallons of water right to the fire. Just hook up a hose, turn on the pump, and start shooting water. Water tanker. The tractor. It's a farmer's most important piece of equipment. It's used to pull all kinds of implements for tillage, planting, and other big jobs on the farm. Tractor. The four-wheel drive tractor. It's the biggest tractor of all, with all four wheels powered up to do big jobs, like this one. Four-wheel drive tractor. The hay baler. After hay has been cut, farmers make it into bales with the baler. The bales of hay are stored in barns and used to feed cows. Hay baler. The livestock carrier. It's made to take 10 or 15 cows to market, the state fair, or anywhere else they need to go. Livestock carrier. The combine. It's an amazing machine with a big job to do. It cuts down crops, throws away the stalks, and cleans the grain all at once. This combine is harvesting soybeans. Combine. The corn picker. It doesn't remove the husks. It's made to keep the corn right on the cob to be used as seed for planting corn next year. Corn picker. The grain bin. When the grain is harvested, it goes to the grain bin. Here it's stored and dried and held until it's ready to be sold or fed to animals. Grain bin. The grain truck. It's filled out in the field by combines and other harvesting machines. It takes the grain to a truck scale to be weighed, then to the bin to be stored. Grain truck. The seed planter. It spaces seeds evenly in straight rows. The better the planter does its job, the more grain the farmer will harvest. Seed planter. The spreader. Farmers use fertilizers and minerals to help crops grow, and herbicides and pesticides to keep weeds and pests away. They're applied with a sprayer or a spreader like this one. Spreader.
Well, thanks for coming today.
Yeah, be seeing you around on our next Big Job Clubhouse adventure.
Bye-bye. See you soon.
Big job. Big job kids. Well, every morning now, here we go to the Big Job Clubhouse. Here we go. We take the Big Job Challenge. Here we go. 'Cause we're the Big Job kids.
Hey!
Stepping on the gas on the Big Job work site. Here we go. We do the Big Job right. Here we go. We take the Big Job Challenge. Here we go. 'Cause we're the Big Job kids.
Hey!
Stepping on the gas. Step on the gas. Climb into the driver's seat. Step on the gas. Got a deadline to meet. Come step on the gas. Feel the
Family home entertainment. From our family to yours, there's something special for everyone. At www.familyhomeent.com.